episode 9. Let's talk about it. Okay, so episode 9 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, now out on Apple TV, the penultimate episode. We have one more episode to go in this show. Now, this show for me, so far has been 50-50. 50% I've loved and liked, 50% I haven't enjoyed at all. Now, last week's episode was one of the ones that really knocked the quality back up for me and was like, yes, this is what I've been missing. It felt like the 3 episodes previous were very much filler and didn't need to be there. This episode answered questions I had about the show. It did do that. But it also raises some questions in the whole universe in itself, with the movies and regarding Hollow Earth. There's a lot of questions that now I feel like contradict the movies and how they did it to how the shows are doing it. And yet they're supposed to be connected at the same time. So that is a bit of an issue for me. Now, let's get into this episode because the past stuff is so good. The past is just the best thing about this show. Is easily that storyline that's happening. And in this one, we finally move forward from the events that we saw very early on in the series that felt like forever ago, where we saw her fall and get taken by those creatures. Now we get to the bit where they're dealing with it, where Shaw and Billy are trying to deal with it. They're looking after her son. And now they are doing this experiment where they're luring a Titan through the hole, through the portal, to be able to then go down into the portal themselves and discover Hollow Earth, discover what this realm really is. So we have this insane moment where it all happens and things just go chaotic. Brilliantly shot, fantastic. And Billy as a character is great in this episode. Absolutely great, where he can't let go of this. He's like, I need to finish this. This is what they want. Because now he not only has he lost his wife, he has now lost his best friend in Shaw as well, who goes down there. And then he finds out that they're not going to fund it anymore. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to bring a Titan up? Let's bring a Titan up and show him, hey, look, these things exist. Where do you think they're coming from? I need the funding to figure this out. So that was absolutely incredible. We find out now why Shaw hasn't aged. We find out why. Because while he's trapped down there, it's only for a very, very short time. He basically says, because they find him again 20 years later, but he still looks exactly the same as he went down the first time. He says that they went down, they crashed, and then as they were doing the recon stuff, these creatures started attacking, which looked like they were the ones from Skull Island, I believe. They look like the Skull Crushers, whatever they're called, the Skull Crawlers. They look like those creatures in it. And then obviously we learn about the lightning bolts in here as well, what that phenomenon is. But then he gets sucked back in as everyone dies. He gets sucked up back to our realm, our, world, planet Earth. So that is the reason why he doesn't age. Now, this brings up my first point. In Godzilla vs. Kong, it's heavily detailed around Hollow Earth itself. In that movie, it never once suggests when they go to Hollow Earth in that movie that they ever gonna have a different time, like sort of stamp. Like they're gonna experience time in a different way than people on Earth, because that doesn't happen. Because they're still running parallel time wise. There's none of this like Interstellar where they go down to the planet and, like 20 minutes on this planet is like 10 years on Earth. It's not like that. Because they don't explain that at all. Because then in the next movie, as we saw in the trailer, they're down in Hollow Earth with Kong. So it wouldn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. But in this episode, they detail out that Hollow Earth itself, when you're down there, you age differently. Time is different down there compared to up top. Which it just contradicts the movies. And this is supposed to be in the same universe. Because they reference 2014 Godzilla all the time. They referenced it again in this movie as well. I mean, in this show. They referenced the movie as well with Shaw sitting in the nursing home watching Godzilla fight those big beasts in the first one. So I don't understand it unless it's not Hollow Earth. That's my only explanation, is that it can't be Hollow Earth. It's got to be something else. But it has to be Hollow Earth, because what else is it? And also, they couldn't get to Hollow Earth. They had to have special ships made to get there. So now you're telling me that they got there, and then people can get sucked through there and survive through that as well. It just doesn't make sense. Like, that, just none of it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how they're going to explain all of this, because 1 minute the movie's saying this show is saying this, it's contradicting each other, it doesn't work, and it's like, come on, can we at least be consistent? I mean, if they did in the movie, which came first before the show, you should have known that that's what they established. The movie established in this universe, that's how it worked. So for you to go and rewrite that and retcon that completely in the show, and then their new movies coming out showing them on Hollow Earth as well, it's kind of like, what's going on here? So, I don't know why they do it. It's like, come on, man. At least know your, like, franchise and your property and your IP that you're doing before you actually write something. It's right there. It's not hard, but okay then. I guess they missed that, didn't they? I guess they missed that. But anyway, so the present storyline, Kentaro thinks that everyone's dead. His father pops out of nowhere back in Tokyo, and Kentaro, good on him, because his father deserved everything that was coming. After you see the way that his father treated Shaw when he came back, I understand why he did that, but then, bro, he does the exact same thing except 10 times worse to Kentaro and Cate. And, like, Kentaro, man, finally stepped up and was a man and absolutely told his father, exactly, this is your fault. You're the reason why all this happened. So you have that. Then you have the three stuck down there. So Shaw and May, Shaw's explaining to May what happened with his story and that, how he goes back. That's how we know. And he doesn't want that to happen. So they're trying to, bond and try and find Cate. But the big reveal is Cate's grandmother is still alive. She saves her at the end from this, like, hog-looking Titan creature thing. So she's alive. She's been down there this whole entire time. She hasn't aged a single bit. Again, which now now shows you, like, what is going on with this Hollow Earth and time and everything. It just doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. I don't know. It just doesn't. But that reveal, I mean, did we all think she was dead? No. Like, let's be real. It's not a twist that was like, oh my god, she's alive. Are you kidding me? No. We kind of knew. Once they said, oh yeah, it's Hollow Earth, it's kind of like, oh yeah. So when she fell down into Hollow Earth and she survived. Like, it's written in the stars. It's, like, framed so heavily. But look, this episode, the past stuff, great. Loved it. Loved the characters and that. I'm a bit sad that we're not going to get any more of that now in the final episode, but I feel like that was the strongest part of this show so far, is that storyline. The stuff with Hollow Earth, bruh, just doesn't make any sense. It's contradicting the movies. And just, like, writers, directors, Apple TV, watch the movies. It's not hard. Unless you're going to say this is in its own pocket universe, but you reference Godzilla 2014 all the time. So, I don't know. But it was okay. It was okay. Great stuff and some not so great stuff. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Did you guys love it? Smash down in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.